Hello, my loves. We have got a big week coming up. We have got the new moon on Wednesday. We've got the Chinese New Year. The planets have come into alignment and we have Imbolc at the weekend. So, wow, there's so much energy going on at the moment. And I'm just going to feel into and help to unpick what some of that means. So let's begin with the new moon on Wednesday. So the new moon is in the sign of Aquarius. It's very much about freedom seeking. It's about feeling into that inner rebel that we have. And it's also about really aligning with our soul purpose. So feeling into what we yearn for, what we really desire, what lights us up, what makes us happy, what drives us. And then how do we apply that to that freedom? Like what's shackling us that we can break free and really move into a space where we can do what we desire, what we want. Aquarius is very much about servitude as well. So it's about how can we serve the planet? How can we serve people kind, womankind? How can we really make a difference in this world? And sometimes that does call in that inner rebel. And I feel it calling me now. I feel very passionate about all basically the shit show that's going on in the world at the moment, especially in the States and, across the world, about misogyny and violence against women and all of those things that seem deeply unfair at the moment. It's got me riled. So my inner rebel is rising and I invite you to allow yours too. Often we're very much suppressed in that. We're like, oh, I couldn't possibly speak out. Well, this is the time that you can do that. This new moon is going to bring in that energy that goes, actually, I'm not fucking standing for this anymore and I'm going to do something about it. When it comes to what we do, that is entirely up to you, but this is coming from a place of love. So when we talk about this, and this is getting a bit personal and a little bit off track, but our action doesn't have to be about smashing the patriarchy. It doesn't have to be about man bashing. It doesn't have to be, and it shouldn't be coming from a place of hatred or fury. It can come from fury. It's okay to feel furious and angry. I certainly do. But this is about leading with love, leading from a place of example, leading from an embodied position, like really embodying our qualities and allowing that embodiment to support and guide others. I've gone a little bit off track there. So let's come back to it. So the new moon, always a time for new beginnings, and this is a great time for us to start to put some of that into action. It's not necessarily a time for action at this point, but as the moon begins to wax and get bigger, that's when we open things up for the universe to bring to us. We open ourselves up to receive. We'll go into that a little bit later on. So the new moon, the Chinese New Year, lands on the same day. Now, this year is the year of the snake. And there's some really beautiful metaphors here. One is about shedding. So you know how a snake sheds its skin. And it does it with such ease. It doesn't have like a big, hoo-ha about it. It just gradually shifts it. My brother used to have a python, so a python called Gavin, who was really cute. But it just kind of wriggles a little bit and wriggles a little bit, and then it slides off, doesn't it? It's like that skin slides off, and then we're brand new and shiny underneath. So this is an opportunity for us to really embody that shedding of what no longer serves us. Thinking back over the last year, more than a year, what things don't serve me anymore and what can I let go of? We often do this at the full moon, but this is just an opportunity for us to feel into this. What can I let go of? What can I shed? What new being do I want to bring out to the world? We've also then got with the snake energy, the really deep embodied Kundalini energy, the female energy that's rising up. And this is a very powerful sexual energy. And it's an opportunity for us to really feel into that, to embrace it, to understand how fucking powerful it is. It's astonishing when we really tap into the power that we hold, what we can do with it. So this is about honoring this. It's about understanding that when we embrace our eros, how powerful it is. And if you've ever done a practice where you, maybe you've done some sex magic, or whether you have really embodied your sexual energy and you go to do something else, you find that you have so much vitality and so much passion and so much power. So I would truly invite you to explore that a little bit. Maybe I'll do another video about that. So interestingly, the snake is a really big symbol of Imbolc as well. So Imbolc is the beginning of spring. It's Imbolc means in the belly. So it's when the lambs would have the sheep would have the lambs within their bellies. And it's the festival between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. So it's our cross-quarter festival. And it's a time for new beginnings. It's a time for lighting that fire in our belly. It's really traditional to light lots of candles at Imbolc, and the church turned it into Candlemas. It's about lighting that fire in the belly. It's about planting those seeds and allowing them to germinate. Now the light is returning. It's about honoring those seeds. So during the time between Samhain and the winter solstice was a time for going within, a time for understanding what it is. What is it that we want? What is it we desire? How do we want this next year to look for us and further ahead? But we didn't do anything with it. We were just honoring it. And then, of course, from the winter solstice, that's when the light returns and we begin to really feel into that, what that could look like. What are the possibilities? And this is the time where we really allow those seeds to be nourished, to begin to germinate, to begin to grow, just like the snowdrops and the daffodils are doing now, just poking their heads out above the ground and going, oh, not yet. It's too wintry still. But it's that energy of like, oh, we're just emerging. And this is where we can really light the fire in our belly. Now, the reason that I bring the snake into this is because it's that female energy. It's that Kundalini rising. It's also the energy lines of the earth. So let's pull this apart a little bit. So we've already talked about the feminine energy of the snake. And Imbolc is the time of the maiden. So if we think about the triple goddess, the maiden, the mother, I call her the creatrix, or the crone. And those are like our three phases. I have this on my wrist. And this is the maiden phase. So this is like the new beginnings, that sexual energy. And often she's called the virgin. Now, the virgin in this context is different from the way that we might perceive the word virgin. So virgin, I was taught at school that it's the Virgin Mary, you know, she's chaste, she's pure, she's doesn't engage in sexual activity. In the ancient times, women who were virgins were free women. They were women who had autonomy. They were women who freely expressed their sexual desires. They were in their own power. They were unattached. And so there's so much power that can come from this energy of spring. It's awesome when we really feel into this and dive into it. So our Kundalini, our energy that is rising, we can also connect with the energy of the earth. So if we think about if you are familiar with ley lines, with dragon lines, snake lines, these are the energetic lines within the earth. And it's this time of year that those awaken. They start to begin to build in energy again. If you go to the ancient sites, then you can really begin to feel it. So there's so much symbology around the snake. And often the lines have like two separate snakes. They have a masculine and a feminine. It's really interesting. If you get excited about this, there's a fantastic series of books by Gary and Caroline, The Spine of Albion. I'm really sorry, I can't remember their surnames. Gary Bitcliffe and Caroline, I apologize, I can't remember your surname. Go into it. It's fascinating, and it's something that Sarah and Ali and I, who work together, we do a lot of energy healing with the earth. Anyway, I've digressed again, but so we've got this serpentine energy in the earth. We've got it within ourselves, and it's that it's what I was talking about before. It's about embracing and embodying that eros, and then using the energy that we build from that to step into whatever our dreams and desires are, to step into that freedom, to that servitude. So all the work that I do is all about servitude. It's about servitude to humanity. It's about servitude to the planet, but it lights me up. It lights me up from the inside. So what lights you up? At Imbolc, we light the fire in our belly. We can do this symbolically with a candle, but that's what it's about. It's about really creating the fire in our bellies, which is a really exciting thing when you can get so excited and driven by what you're truly passionate about. The other thing that I just want to bring in very briefly is the planetary alignment. So we've got all of the planets in alignment. This is the first time that it's happened for 3,000 years. Now, in the world at the moment, there is a massive fucking shit show going on, isn't there? I mean, oh my God. However, this is a time for us, I think I mentioned before, about really embodying our feminine energy. It's about really embodying and being grounded in who we are, what we believe in. It's about having the steadfastness and the courage to say no. We're not gonna put up with this anymore. We're not okay with this. This is not how we choose to live. But one of the big things about this planetary alignment is that it's really going to deepen our intuition. So it's going to, whereas it might have been, you know, we might have like a surface level, like, oh yeah, maybe I'm really feeling into this. This is where we're going to get this really like gut feeling here about what is it, or when something comes up, a decision, something that we see that we do or don't like, we're either going to get like a big yes or a big no, or some wisdom about this. So this is about being really open to that, to not shut it down. It can be a bit scary. It can be a bit, oh, why the hell do I feel that? Or why did I get this coming into my mind? I've already spoken to a few friends and clients recently who've been like, I knew this was going to happen before it happened. That really freaked me out. Go with it. Really embrace it. Understand how it serves you. Understand how you can work with it, how it can serve the planet. And essentially, all of these things that are coming up have the potential to really raise the energetic vibration. The new moon, the Chinese New Year, the planetary alignment, and then of course Imbolc, where we're stepping into this new beginning. So you can choose. You always have a choice in this. Sometimes we have things that are going to happen anyway. You know, the universe puts it in our path, and eventually we will come round to it. Or we can choose to step into it and leap into it a little bit early. So in terms of practices, what can we do? Let's have a think. So I will be, as always, I'm running a new moon circle online on Wednesday if anybody wants to join me. But one of the really important things about manifesting, about creating what we want in life, is to embody that energy, because what we give out, we get back when we work with the law of attraction. So when it comes to the new moon, it's not about micromanaging. It's not about action. Sometimes it is, but in this instance, it's not. It's about setting our energy. It's about giving off the right vibration for what we want to receive back. So what I love to do is to do a little bit of a meditation. We can do like a grounding meditation. I like to do a shamanic journey. I love getting my drum out. And it's very much about, what is it that I truly desire? What is it I dream of? Are there things that I want to step into that I've not yet been brave enough to do? This is the time to do it. And what do I see myself doing in the future? What's my vision? So take a moment to really see yourself in the future, to see yourself there doing whatever it is. Sometimes we don't know, and that's fine. We can just have a feeling like, I want to be happy, I want to be joyful, I want to make a difference in the world, whatever that might be. Sometimes we might know, it might be really specific. So we see ourselves there and we notice, what do we look like? How's our expression? Who's around us? What can we hear? What can we smell? What can we taste? What can we touch? What can we see? And really bring in all those senses. And most importantly, like, what do we feel? So when we're there, what do we feel? And this is where we can trick our brain, because our brain doesn't know what's real and what's imagined. So it might be, I can see myself in the future and I'm so happy and I'm joyful and I'm proud of myself and I feel freedom and I feel like I'm making a difference. So when we feel into those energies, the energy of our body changes. Try it now. Feel into what it is you want to create and just notice what happens in your body. It's exciting. It creates like a fizziness and a physical response in the body and an energetic response. So what we can do is we can really use that. So visualizing that thing that's in our future, whatever it is we want, and bringing that into our heart. Now, I'm going to suggest at this point, so I always work with candle magic, and when it comes to Imbolc, we're lighting the flame, like lighting the spark of our intention. So I use these tiny little candles that I make out of beeswax. You can use any candle you want. What I like to do is I like to hold it next to my heart. So I bring this energy into my heart, because our heart has so much more impact and energy than our brain does, for example. So we can hold this by our heart. We can bring that vision into our heart and really feel into those emotions of joy, happiness, whatever. So it infuses our candle, and we can imagine, I like to give it a color. So if we were to give that future vision of ourselves a color, what would it be? Like, so for example, mine would be orange. So I would bring that image into my heart space and I would see it surrounded by a beautiful color orange. And then I would imagine it beaming out from my heart space like the sunshine. So it goes right to the end of the universe. It's blinding, this beautiful energy of what I want to bring in. And then essentially, when we work with the law of attraction, what we give out, we get back. So we don't need to do anything. We're just opening up our intention for that to come to us now. We don't need to know. The universe will figure it out for us. Sometimes we do though have to be really aware of the things that come into our path. So it's about really being aware and not dismissing things. So using our intuition. So then what we can do is we can light our candle. So we light our candle with a spark of our intention. It's like it sends a signal to the universe. That's what we want to do. And then we let our candle burn down. And as the candle snuffs out, it's like it sends out a message to the universe. So be it, so mote it be, it's done. If we're using a bigger candle, try just to use like one candle for magic, for spell work, because otherwise it gets a little bit chaotic. I often, when I've got like one big one that I use for the new moon, one I use for the full moon, or I use the little ones. And then you just snuff it out when you feel like there's been enough energy created by it. So that was a lot. You know, there's a lot going on. And what I would invite you to do is to feel into what's right for you. Feel into what you are inspired by. Feel into what you want to lean into. You don't have to focus on anything. Like you can research this and to your heart's content across the internet. You can speak to, you can listen to so many different things on YouTube and on Instagram, and it can get really confusing. So just take what you want and leave what you don't. It's my best advice for you. I'm wishing you so much love, so much happiness, so much joy, so much freedom. Bring out that inner rebel and have a load of fucking fun.